Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, depending on where you are. Um, I'm just trying to make sure that it's pinned so people can find it. So, get some water if that is helpful for you and supportive. You'll get to see me with my glasses on and in my nightgown. So fancy. Oh, wow, there's 4 of you. Hello, good morning, good night. So, uh, is having this dream right before I came on, and I think I woke up maybe like 20 minutes ago, and then I fell back asleep, and so it was right for dream time, and right as I was like, there was a really good part of my dream, and my wrist started vibrating because I have my alarm on my wrist, and I was like, oh no. Um, I have to finish my dream. And then my other alarm, my backup alarm started going off. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to wake up Tara. So I exited the dream and turned off my alarm. But it's good to see you. And yeah, so I'm going to take a sip of water. My throat's a little scratchy. And I can't figure out my wrist. Okay. Deirdre, do you remember when we got these in San Antonio? I'm a little obsessed with them now. Good morning, spring. Oh, yes. So, for those of you joining, I am Camp Counselor Spatula, also known as Sarina. And this morning, or whatever time of day it is for you, I'm going to drop us into a little bit of a visualization. And if you fall asleep, that's okay. Just allow it to lull you to sleep. And then also drop us into our bodies a little bit. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. So closing your eyes if it feels safe to do so. And I'm actually going to take my glasses off. And then I'll put them back on a little bit. It just feels better. So taking your glasses off if you like, and closing your eyes if that feels safe. And if that doesn't feel safe, to just look off to the side so you're not like staring at this bright thing that's in front of us. And as you start to settle into your body, into your physical form, taking a deep breath in and a big exhale. Another deep breath in, big exhale. And then finding a breathing rhythm that feels good for you. And as you find this breathing rhythm, I want you to just do a scan of your body. So, starting with either the top of your head up here or the tips of your toes, just scanning up or down and just noticing how things are. Your eyes feel heavy or light, or crinkle in your forehead. Noticing how your nose and throat feel. Or if you're starting at your toes, noticing what it feels like in your foot, your ankles. So just taking a few moments and allowing yourself to scan, opening up to any sensations. Maybe there's discomfort, maybe there's space. And breathing into any areas that feel tight or restricted, especially around the heart. Oftentimes we armor around the back of our heart, so back here, or the front of our heart. And as you move through this body scan, breathing into any spaces that are tight, allow it to drop. Just allow yourself to settle into your physical form and to open wide with possibility. And then finding the stillness in yourself. So, oftentimes our minds are racing, even when they first wake up, or there's a lot of noise outside of us. But there's always this place of stillness that lives within us. So the invitation is to find that place of stillness within you. Imagining that you can drop below the noise of the world, the noise of our own selves, and you can drop into this space, this place of stillness. And then once you've landed in that place of stillness, I want you to just hang out there for a little bit. I'm actually going to pull some song lyrics and put them into the chat. So allow yourself to just settle into that stillness for a moment. Beautiful. And as you find the stillness, we're going to drop into a song that we sang on the first night. A song that really connects us to each other, that connects us to ourselves. And it's a song that was really paramount for me when I first joined the Warrior Goddess community, because I'd never felt this level of acceptance and love. And it's such a beautiful gift to give ourselves to be in that space. And it often helps me find the stillness within me when I remember this. So you can gently open your eyes if that feels good, or you can keep them closed and just rest into the lyrics and the sound. And I am going to take a sip of water before we start. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. And then closing your eyes and singing it one more time to yourself. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Gets me every time. This time is especially uh, tear jerky. Mm. Oh, don't worry, I cry in person too. So I love each of you so much. And um, yeah, I'll share this story. So one of the, oh, my glasses are fogging up. Um, so one of the reasons this song touches me so much is I learned it. I think I learned it when I went through level 2 facilitator training as part of learning the chants and songs for Ignite. Um, and there's also just this like sweetness to it, and it like penetrates my soul. um, but when my mom was dying, I don't know how many of you know this, but my mom died almost a year ago. It'll be a year ago next month. And um, when she was actively dying, like when she was in the hospital in her last few hours, I actually was held here on this land and flew to go see her, like at the drop of a hat. So I was here. I found out she was dying, and Jenny and Heather Ash and Tara all really held me, and they were like, "You have to go." So I went, and when I got to the hospital, she was very restless, and I could tell she wasn't going to be around much longer. I didn't know how many hours, but there's this thing that sometimes happens with people before they die where they're like trying to expend that last bit of energy. And so I crawled into bed with her in the hospital, and I didn't think about anyone else that was in the room or anything. But I got into bed with her and I started singing to her, and this was one of the songs that I sang to her. Um, and I don't know that she ever really knew like that depth of loving ourselves and coming back home to ourselves. And I so wanted that for her um, before she died. And it felt like in that moment, and especially in her last few moments, that maybe she finally got there. So I love to sing this song. And as I was singing it tonight, I could like feel her. And it felt so good. Um, and it's different, every single time we sing a song or we pray. anytime we're sitting in meditation or stillness, that there's a tenderness. And I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm one of those criers who cries when I'm happy, when I am sad, when I'm angry, and when things are tender. So, yeah. And my prayer for all of us is that we never lose that tenderness. I spent so much of my life being hard and trying to protect and armor. And the warrior goddess teachings really opened me up to the depths. And so that's my prayer for all of us as we fall back asleep, or start our day, depending on where you are, that we drop into the tenderness of life, that we allow ourselves to be broken open by grace, by the things that challenge and temper us, and also the things that are so beautiful and extraordinary, the celebrations as well. And that we continue to walk in prayer and in faith that we're co creating with life. So that's our morning practice. Let's see if my glasses fogged up. And yeah, I really appreciate y'all spending this time with me. And yeah, just carry that tenderness and that preciousness with you as you head back to sleep or start your day. And I'm trying to do math, 4.5 hours? Is that right? I think it's 4.5 hours at 9 a.m. Central Time, which is 8 a.m. Mountain, 7 a.m. Pacific, and 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll be teaching you all how to see cooking as ritual. We'll be making a savory egg dish and warrior goddess bowls, um, breakfast bowls. And I'll also be sharing a little bit more about my mother because she's been my inspiration for cooking, and that's where I started cooking, was with her sitting on the floor doing all sorts of stuff. So yeah, so enjoy yourselves, either go back to sleep or stay up, and I'll see you in a few hours. I'm going to end this broadcast and then I'll put it back on the altar for the next few hours. Appreciate you being here.